Hey, how's it going on Monday, March 17th, 2025? This video, a recap of Heinie Manush, Baseball Hall of Fame career. Have you heard of him? I've read about him in books. I have a book on Baseball Hall of Famers, and he was listed in there. So I'm curious about the guy, so I decided to look at his seasons from 1923 through 1939. 17-year career. He made the Baseball Hall of Fame on two things, I think, in my opinion. His 330 career batting average, top 25 all time, and 2,524 hits. That did it. He had 11 seasons batting over 300. He had 4 of them, 200 or more hits. And he had one season, 194 hits, and then 2 other seasons, 180 or more hits. I think that's what did it. He played in an era where when the baseball writers were looking for Hall of Fame baseball players, they looked at guys who could hit. This guy, 330 career batting average. That's significant, really. How many guys above that are there? We know Cobb is at the top, 366. You got Hornsby, 358. Joe Jackson, 356. Ed Delonte, 346. Then you go down the line. You got a couple guys in the 340s, and then a lot of guys in the 330s. So let's recap this guy's career, Heinie Manush. 2008 games. He got 7,654 at-bats. And he accumulated, I've got the stats here, 1,288 runs scored. I'm counting 6 seasons, 100 or more runs scored in 17 years. Should have been better. Should have been about 10 seasons, 100 runs scored. I would have liked to have seen him surpass 1,500 runs scored. He didn't do it. He had 1,288. He did get 2,524 hits. And you know, it was in about 15 years, not 17-year career, because his last 2 years, 1938, he played 32 games, and then 1939, 10 games. So 2,500 hits in about 15 years. Good ratio, right? If he had played another 5 years, he stopped playing at age 37. If he had played 5 more years, he could have gotten close, or maybe more than 3,000 hits. It's too bad he didn't go for that magic 3,000 hit club. He had 4 seasons, like I said, 200 or more hits. 491 career doubles, 160 triples, 110 homers. Not a slugger, not a home run guy. His high was 17. His high, I've got it here, 14 home runs in a season. Okay. 1,183 RBIs. That was a flaw. Why? You play 15 years. You should have more RBIs than that. He only had 2 seasons, 100 RBIs. This is a guy that got 241 hits in 1 year. He had 221 another year, 214 1 year, and 204. Just think. Those should have been 100 RBI seasons. 2 of those years were 100 RBIs, but the other 2 were not. So I would have liked to have seen 1,500 RBIs. Didn't do it. 113 stolen bases. 506 walks. Did not walk very much. Listen to this. 7,654 at-bats and only 500 plus walks. Struck out 345 times. That's a very good ratio of fewer strikeouts per at-bat. Only 345. He never struck out 100 times in a season. His high Strikeouts in a season? 30. How about that? 330 career batting average. Like I said, 11 seasons over 300. And we can say it's 15 years. He had 378 twice. He had a 355, he had a 350, and he had a 349. So good hitter. If you maintain those kind of averages for a season. 377 on base career, 479 slugging career, and 3,665 total bases. Should have passed 4,000 total bases. So he wasn't the home run guy. Because the slugging and the total bases would go up if he had hit more home runs. He didn't do it. So how can we evaluate Heinie Manush as far as the great hitters of the past, the good hitters of the past? Well, that batting average, 330 career, is significant. To me, I would rank him as far as great hitter of the past, top 30. Where would I put him? What number? It's hard. You can interchange guys between 25 and 30. He's not one of the all-time greats because it's 2,500 hits. If he had gotten over 3,000 hits or 3,500 hits, I'd put him in the top 20, but he didn't do it. So we recapped Heinie Manush's career. And what I like to do after I'm done is list all the guys I've covered so far. As far as looking at their box scores and looking at their stats. That's my grandson, Zachary. He's 10 years old. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah. So he's a good kid. All right, here are the guys I have covered. Looking at every season and every box score on my YouTube channel. I started with episode 1001, and this episode is 1703. Wow. What did I do before my 1000th episode? Well, I covered every guy I could think of in the book. And I did a lot of pitching analysis. I did a lot of hitting analysis. I did a lot of run scored analysis, total bases, all that. So episode 1 through 1000 was all over the map as far as covering every aspect of the game of baseball. But starting with 1001, I'm getting very, very specific, looking at players and just evaluating their seasons and box scores. Here are the guys I've covered. Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Lou Gehrig, Stan Musial, Tris Speaker, Rogers Hornsby, Ted Williams, Tony Gwynn, Ed Delante, George Sisler, Jesse Burkett, Joe Jackson, Willie Keeler, Billy Hamilton, Harry Heilman, Joe DiMaggio, Bill Terry, Lefty O'Doul, Dave Orr, Dan Brothers, Pete Browning, Nap Lajoie, Al Simmons, Sam Thompson, Cap Hansen, Jimmy Fox, Honus Wagner, Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, Hank Greenberg, Hugh Duffy, Eddie Collins, Paul Wainer, Lord Wainer, Chuck Klein, Sam Rice, Roberto Clemente, and now I'm done with Heinie Manush. Who's next? I'm going all bust. This ball player or bust. I got to do it. I've been waited too long. Pete Rose. He's next. 24-year career. 4,256 hits. Look out. Pete, here I come. I'm going to evaluate you. I'm going to rank you also. Talk to you guys later. I'm out.